Have you ever walked out of a movie theater just completely changed? Like you just lived another life for 2 hours? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on that feeling. We're going to deconstruct the magic and look at the powerful visual language filmmakers use to create experiences that stick with us long after the credits have rolled.
You know that feeling, right? You're sitting there in the dark, totally hooked. A scene makes your heart pound, a moment brings a tear to your eye, and you just have to ask yourself, how? How did they pull that off? It can feel like some kind of strange alchemy, like they found a secret way to tap right into our emotions. But here's the thing. It's not actually magic. It's a craft, a really, really well-honed craft. It's a deliberate set of tools and techniques, a whole language that's been developed for over a century. And today we're going to learn the basics of that language, so you can start seeing your favorite movies in a completely new way.
All right, so every great film, no matter how wild or complex, starts with a solid foundation, a blueprint, if you will. And in filmmaking, that blueprint is the narrative. It's the skeleton that everything else, all the beautiful shots, the amazing sound, the incredible acting, is built on top of. So what is a narrative, really? At its heart, it's pretty simple. It's just a series of events all linked together by cause and effect. You know, character A does something, which causes character B to react, which causes a new problem. It's this chain reaction, unfolding in a specific time, in a specific place, that creates the world of the movie.
Now this brings us to a really key idea, the difference between story and plot. They sound the same, but they're not. The story is just the raw material. It's everything that happens in chronological order, from A to B to C. But the plot, that's how the filmmaker decides to show us those events. The perfect example is Pulp Fiction. The story happens in a straight line, but the plot is all chopped up and rearranged. That choice totally changes how we experience it.
So to build that narrative, filmmakers are basically playing with three main things. There's causality. That's the engine, right? It's all about what characters want and the choices they make. Then there's time. A filmmaker can mess with time, jumping backward with flashbacks or forward with flash forwards. And finally, there's space. This is the whole world of the story, what some people call the diegesis. It's everything that exists inside that movie's reality, even the stuff that's happening off-screen.
Okay, so we've got our blueprint, our narrative. Now it's time to actually build this thing. And filmmakers translate that story from the page to the screen using two of the most powerful tool sets in their kit, mise-en-scène and cinematography. First up is mise-en-scène. It's a fancy French term, I know, but it literally just means putting into the scene. And that's exactly what it is. It is everything, and I mean everything, that the director puts in front of the camera for you to see.
And this basically breaks down into 4 parts. You've got the setting, which is the location and all the props. There's costume and makeup, which tell us so much about a character at a single glance. You have lighting, which is huge for creating mood. And finally, there's staging, which is just how the actors move and perform. Think about a movie like La La Land. All those bright, saturated colors and the costumes and the sets, that's a deliberate mise-en-scène choice to make it feel like one of those old-school Hollywood musicals. So, if mise-en-scène is what we're looking at, cinematography is how we're looking at it. This is the art of the camera itself. It's all about the choices made with framing, focus, and movement that literally shape our point of view.
Here's the easiest way to keep them straight. Mise-en-scène is the world inside the rectangle of the screen. The actors, the set, the lights. Cinematography is the rectangle itself, where it's placed, how it moves, what it sees. One is about arranging the world, the other is about how we capture that world. And cinematographers have a whole toolkit to play with. They can change the framing distance. Are we seeing a character from super far away in an extreme long shot, or are we right up in their face with an extreme close-up? They can change the camera angle, looking down on someone to make them seem vulnerable, or up at them to make them look powerful. And of course, they can move the camera itself, panning, tilting, or tracking along with the action.
So, all the footage has been shot. The world is built, but it's all just a jumble of raw pieces. Now comes the part where it all gets put together to create an actual experience. And this is where the amazing, often invisible, work of editing and sound comes into play.
Yeah, editing is way more than just cutting out the bad takes. It's the art of the cut. It's about deciding what shot to show us next and for exactly how long. An editor has total control over the film's rhythm and its pace. But more than that, they literally create meaning by smashing two different images together.
There's this famous old experiment called the Kuleshov effect that shows this perfectly. A Soviet filmmaker took a shot of an actor with a totally neutral expression. Then he showed it to an audience, but he cut from the actor's face to a shot of a bowl of soup. The audience said, "Wow, he looks so hungry." Then he took that exact same shot of the actor, but this time cut to a coffin. The audience said, "Oh, he looks so sad and mournful."
The actor's performance never changed. The emotion was created entirely by the edit, right inside the audience's head. Pretty cool, right?
This leads to other cool tricks, like what's called constructive editing. See, instead of starting a scene with a big, wide shot that shows you the whole room, a filmmaker might choose not to. They might just show you a close-up of someone's nervous eyes, then their hand on a doorknob, then a strange shadow in the corner. By only giving us the pieces, they force us to build the space, and all the suspense in our own mind.
Okay, last but definitely not least, we have to talk about what we hear. This is the one we probably take for granted the most, but a film's soundtrack is almost always built completely separately from the images. It's its own layer of art, and honestly, sometimes it's even more powerful than what we see.
So film sound basically falls into two big buckets. Diegetic sound is anything that exists inside the story's world. If the characters in the movie can hear it, like dialogue or footsteps or a radio playing in the room, it's diegetic. Non-diegetic sound is everything else, the stuff that's just for us, the audience. Think of the musical score or a narrator's voice. The best filmmakers love to blur that line and play with our expectations.
Whew! Okay, so we've gone from the blueprint to building the world to assembling the final experience. You now have the basic toolkit for understanding the language of film. You're officially ready to start seeing movies with a brand new set of eyes.
So let's just do a quick recap of your new toolkit. You've got narrative, which is the what and how of the story. You've got mise-en-scene, everything in the frame. Cinematography, which is how the frame captures it. Editing, which creates rhythm and meaning. And sound, which builds the entire world we hear. Every single movie ever made is just a unique combination of choices made with these 5 tools.
So, here's my challenge to you. The next time you watch a movie, especially a favorite, try to use this toolkit. Ask yourself, why did they choose to show me this shot now? Why is the lighting like that? Is that sound something the characters can hear, or is it just for me? Once you start looking for these choices, you'll see them everywhere. And that magic of the movies, it turns into something even more amazing, a masterful, beautiful, and deeply human art form.